What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today I'm gonna be highlighting and talking about some of my favorite announcements from this past summer games week. Um, so as always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and/or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Dad Needs to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, TV, movies, and of course today, lots of video games. So this episode is going to be strictly a game talk edition where it's just about the video games because I need that right now. I don't know about y'all, but for myself, life has been crazy. Life has been very, very stressful lately. But a highlight this last few days has just been seeing the variety of game announcements because for those of y'all that know, I love all style of games, from the biggest of the big releases to the smallest hidden gems. And I of course have all the systems. Got, between my wife and kids, we have a handful of Xbox series consoles. And I got my PS5, I got a Nintendo Switch, I got my PlayStation Portal to go with my PS5. So yeah. And I think someday when finances get in order, and there might be another version by then, but I definitely do want to at some point also get a Steam Deck, just because there are so many games that were announced that got demos that are only on Steam, and I'm like, man, I would love to try that out. So let's jump into some of the game news. So I'm gonna start off first with some of the lesser known stuff before I get to like the big Summer Game Fest stream and the Ubisoft and Xbox showcase and all that stuff, whatever. Um, if you are like me and you like smaller games or indie games or stuff that might not make their way onto like the biggest of stages, a few places I would point you to, because I might not have specific games in all of these, but just to point you in the direction. So, three smaller streams that happened, that I recommend you checking out if you like indie games and stuff like that. One would be Wholesome Games YouTube channel, because they did a stream a few days ago, and they had a decent amount of indie games and stuff that might be worth checking out and putting on your radar. So Wholesome Games is one. The other one is Future of Play YouTube channel. They also had a handful of announcements. I was trying to see, was there any specifically here? Yeah, I don't think it was nothing. There was this one called Sandara, City of a Thousand Eclipses. That's kind of catching my eye. I need to do a little bit more digging and research into it. Oh, Phoenix Springs. This is one. I feel like I might have downloaded a demo off of Steam onto my laptop here a while back, but I think that was kind of like a detective style game or something. Something about that one I remember was on my radar a while back. But but yeah. So Future of Play, and then also the Day of the Devs, and I'm using who is this, a Rock Paper Shotgun article for this one, but one that's been on my radar for a while that I'm trying to remember. I think it's actually coming out very soon. It's called Arranger, and it's the one where, let me see if I can play a little bit of this, to where as the character moves, the world is shifting and moving and stuff with them as well, which is a very, very neat and dope idea. Um, what was the other one? Do 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 do. No. No. Oh, Pedal Runner. So, from this description here that they got on here, Pedal Runner is about being a Tamagotchi courier. So, when you're watching the gameplay for this one, it is so it pretty much has kind of like the look and style. If I'm remembering this one, because the cutscenes are high quality, but the gameplay itself, yes, has this kind of like old school, like Pokemon Game Boy Color era look to it. And yeah, you're delivering what is essentially a Tamagotchi to different people and stuff in the world. So that one was definitely a highlight for me. And I'm trying to think, what was the other one? That Screenbound. So this one was like very trippy. So Screenbound. So you're both playing a 2D and a 3D game at the same time. Um, so basically, the game is the game is both in first person and like a 2D platform in the background. So as you're playing the game, your your character is in first person holding what essentially looks like a Game Boy, and as you're moving throughout the world or whatever, you yourself are a character on the Game Boy screen. And so you kind of use that to help guide you with your jumps and stuff. And so, like I said, it is a very neat and very interesting concept. I did see some people say like, man, I don't know, they might get motion sickness from this. I can definitely say, because even after I was watching it for a while, I was kind of like, getting feeling a little trippy, a little queasy. So who knows? I might not be able to play it, but just still one I wanted to highlight and put on your radars. But yeah, like I said, check out the Day of the Devs uh, announcements and stuff as well. Like I said, just to kind of highlight some of the smaller, not even just smaller, but just some games that might not be on everybody's radar and stuff like that. So yeah. So next up, let me see. I want to talk about. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna kind of go in order of the days now, and just pick out some of my highlights. But from the Summer Game Fest stream on Friday, um, so the first and one of my favorite announcements, because we've heard rumors and stuff about a Lego Horizon game, but seeing it, it just looks so freaking cute, so adorable. So it's called Lego Hot Horizon Adventures, and it will both have local and online co-op. And the crazy thing that didn't leak out is not only is it going to be on uh, PlayStation 5 and PC, but it's also going to be on Nintendo Switch. So this is the first time we're going to have one of like PlayStation's big first party IPs coming over to the Nintendo platform. So that was a very interesting and unexpected announcement. But this one I'm looking forward to maybe picking up at some point, because it looks like it's going to have some of the story beats from both the first game, Zero Dawn, as well as Forbidden West. But the game and stuff just looked really fun, really adorable and stuff. And honestly, I was laughing because I was like, never would I have expected um, to potentially be able to share and experience in the Horizon world with my 6-year old Vash. But I don't know, that might be like a fun little game we might get somewhere down the line. But yeah, so shout out to Lego Horizons. Um, just kind of scrolling through, they announced Civilization 7. Don't really care myself. For Street Fighter 6, the year two characters. They're bringing back some SNK fighter characters, M Bison, Terry, Elena, and Mai. Don't really have any interest for fighting games, but just want to put this on y'all's radar. Um, Let me see. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero got a release date of October 11th, and that'll be on PS5, PC, and series consoles. Uh, Let me see. Still going, still going. They announced. I still want to play. I still need to play the first Alan Wake. But I also still very interested in trying out Alan Wake 2. Well, they shadow dropped over the weekend some DLC called Alan Wake 2 Night Springs, and the exciting thing is that it has like basically like three smaller like episodes DLC whatever in it. Two of which one has the main character from Quantum Break in it, and then the other one has Jesse Faden from Control. So that looked very cool and very awesome. We got to see some more gameplay demo stuff of Phantom Blade Zero. That game looks super dope. Um, but it's still probably at least a couple of years away just from the way the developers were talking about it. But they showed a pretty lengthy several minute gameplay clip of it. Um, Ooh. So they also showed off this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind game. Now, this game kind of reminds me of that TMNT. I think it was Shredder's Revenge that they did a couple of years ago. Um, and so yeah, so this is kind of like a side scrolling beat 'em up game with Power Rangers, and it looks super fun and super dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out potentially, and maybe playing it with my kids because they enjoyed playing co-op amongst each other with that Ninja Turtle game last year, a couple years ago. Um, so I was trying to see, was there anything else specific for me? Uh, do do do. Yeah, nothing else too much from the Summer Game Fest stuff. Um, it was interesting just seeing people being like, "Oh my God, that was horrible, that was trash." Of course, everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, whatever. But it was like Jeff Keighley before the show did a stream and set expectations like, hey, this isn't gonna have super big crazy announcements or whatever. There will be some things, whatever, but it will be mainly focused on mostly already known game announcements and stuff, whatever. But anywho, I'm not gonna harp on that. Um, also, for people who are horror game fans, I'm not, but there was a new thing called Bloomhouse Games. I don't know if the guy's a actor or something, but they announced a series of like 6 horror games that maybe if you're into horror style games, you might want to take a look at. Um, but yeah, but I think that's it for the Summer Game Fest mainstream that I wanted to highlight. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump to Ubisoft real quick because they really only had a couple of things that I was super hyped and super excited about. Um, so pretty much they did a pretty lengthy gameplay showcase for Star Wars Outlaws. Um, they showed, I think it was like a 10-minute gameplay thing, and the game looks super dope, super dope. From like you taking off from the planet, going out into space, getting into space combat, and just I don't know, it's just my type of open world game, and so I'm just excited to get this game and just get lost in the world, especially because nowadays I don't really get to do too much gaming as is, and so this looks like one that would be more than worth the money, because I think I saw this morning they said like the rough average playtime would be about I think like around like 30 hours roughly, and then up to 50 for 100% completionist or whatever, and that is kind of like the sweet spot for me um with these games and stuff. But but yeah, so Star Wars Outlaws, that's coming out at the end of August, so just a couple of months away. But I am super happy, super excited to check that game out. And the other one was we got a lengthy like 13-minute gameplay for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is coming out November 15th. This is another one, just like Star Wars Outlaws, to where I'm like, yeah, I can see myself uh, getting lost in this world and stuff. And I loved how they showed several minutes of gameplay from both Yasuke, who is more like power focused, rushing in strong, heavy attacks, kind of a little bit of like Ghost of Tsushima ish style with the swords and other weapons or whatever. So, and one of the cool things I liked about, and this is both with Yasuke and Naue, is that I guess when you're getting ready to do like a final like execution blow on a character or whatever, the screen will kind of do, especially when you're going after like your main target or whatever, the screen will kind of do like this like black and white um effect or whatever that looks really really cool. I'm trying to see if I can capture it. I don't know if I can. Mm, yeah, they don't show it too much. But anywho, but Yasuke's gameplay looked super brutal and crazy and stuff. So I'm looking forward to playing as both of them. And then of course now a showing off more of like the stealth elements and stuff, sneak on the shadows. You know, you can take out light sources and stuff. You can go fully prone in the game. It was just so many like really cool touches and stuff that they showed off. But yeah, and they said that the map for Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be about the same size as Egypt in Assassin's Creed Origins, which that's one of my favorite ones from recent years. So knowing that it's going to that'll be about that size, once again speaking to me to where it's a decent size, you get your money's worth, but also not overwhelmingly big like Odyssey and Valhalla was. So, but yeah, those are kind of like the main ones from Ubisoft. They announced some more story DLC coming to Lost Crown in September, which I still need to go back and finish that game. Um, yeah, nothing else too much. I think they showed out like some stuff from the Division 2 is getting like I guess like their next season of DLC and stuff, whatever. Um, but yeah, so yeah, so now to the big one, Xbox. So Xbox Showcase, y'all, man. So this showcase for Xbox really set the tone for, despite they've obviously things have not been good in general for Xbox as a brand, as a company and stuff, whatever, for recent months and stuff, whatever, with all the layoffs and studio closures and just questionable decisions and stuff. But it seems like we now finally have at least like somewhat of a idea or roadmap for how things are going to look going forward, and if they can keep on having this like potential lineup that they got here or whatever, um, then their trajectory might potentially be changing for the better. So I'm gonna just kind of just run down this list of all the different things. So And once again, I'm using Polygon here for those of y'all watching the video version. Um, so Doom: The Dark Ages. Now, this was one that was rumored heavily before the showcase and stuff. But man, this game looks super freaking dope. Um, I've never really played any of the Doom games. I've heard nothing but great things, especially since they rebooted it with Doom 2016 and then Doom Eternal and then now Doom: The Dark Ages. Um, Kind of just like a medieval looking Doom game. The weapons and everything look super dope. Um, and it's going to be coming out sometime next year in 2025. And it will still be coming to PlayStation 5 as well. So very interesting that they did made a decision, but it was kind of expected with like, existing titles and franchises and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so Doom: The Dark Ages coming out early next year. We finally got Signs of Life for State of Decay 3. Now with this one, now with State of Decay 3, my wife is a huge fan of the series, and so she played the heck out of State of Decay 2 because that came out I think 2016. So not long, like within like a couple of years of me and her first started being together and stuff. And so she is going to be super excited to play this. Though this one might still be a couple of years away. But just showing signs of life and that things are looking good. My wife is super excited for that one. Now, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I'll go ahead and mention this right here. So, this cinematic trailer, whatever that they showed off during the conference, did not look that good. Now, granted, I'm also not like a huge Dragon Age person myself. I've never really played any of them. I've played Mass Effect or whatever, but Dragon Age, especially because I've never really been too big into RPGs in general. So, but I'll say that with Dragon Age, now things didn't look too hot with the with that trailer that they chose to show or whatever, but they did a 20-minute gameplay presentation yesterday, and that looked way better. And I know a lot of people that were there at Summer Game Fest this week actually got to go hands on and play the game and stuff. And so a lot of people were just like, yeah, hey, and about this is Dragon Age: The Veilguard to be specific, formerly known as Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Hold on, real quick. Okay, I had to pause for a minute. Wife called. So, but yeah, so like I was saying, so yeah, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So yeah, like I was saying, people that actually got to play it, and once they also showed off like the like 20 minutes of gameplay, whatever, everybody was like, "Yo, that trailer did not do what the actual game is justice or whatever." So, so yeah, so definitely, sometimes it's like, man, these trailers sometimes be doing more harm than good. So next up, they show some stuff from the new Starfield expansion called Shattered Space that's coming later this year, as well as they drop some updates that same night or whatever. Star Now, granted, I've never really gotten too much into any of the Bethesda games, or whatever, but Starfield, like from a distance, looks really cool and stuff, whatever. So I really like looking at it, and especially the way things were looking for this DLC or whatever. I was like, but who knows? Like I said, like I said, we have a million Xboxes, so I remember I had booted it up at launch or whatever last year, but just wasn't really feeling it too much or whatever. So, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll actually give it a shot or whatever. So, Fallout 76 new update called Skyline Valley coming out today that I'm recording this. So a big one that nobody knew about is this game called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Now, this is supposed to be coming out sometime next year in 2025 to Xbox Series consoles. And actually, I'm trying to think, is this on? I'm trying to think. Hold on. Sorry. Expedition 33 game. I'm trying to think, is it also coming? Okay, yeah. So it is coming to all the consoles. Yeah. Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, Steam, and stuff. Um, so I'm trying to see if I can find. Do. Lead the members of Expedition 33 on their quest to destroy the paintress so that she can never paint death again. So this one it's a turn-based RPG that like the style of it, whatever, because the way the trailers and stuff first look, it looked like it was just gonna be just like a regular action game or whatever. But then when it kind of popped up these kind of like personas, like some stylish persona-esque menus or whatever, and they started showing the combat, everybody was like, yo, hold on, like, whoa, what is this? And so this is a game that looks super dope. So here's a little bit more information. So once a year, the paintress wakes and paints upon her monolith, paints her curse number, and everyone of that age turns to smoke and fades away. Year by year, that number ticks down, and more of us are erased. Tomorrow, she'll wake and paint 33. Tomorrow, we depart on our final mission, destroy the paintress so she can never paint death again. That sounds like such a dope concept. But yeah, I am super interested in checking this game out. I can't remember if it said it was going to be on Game Pass or not. I don't think. But either way, that is one I highly recommend y'all go and take a look at, because that game looks phenomenal. Now, another game I'm super excited about, South of Midnight. So we got maybe like a 5-6 minute gameplay demonstration of the game. So South of Midnight is the one from Compulsion Games, who did what was that PS4 launch title, Contrast, and then We Happy Few. So South of Midnight, you play as this young lady in the Deep South. I believe it's specifically Louisiana, and so it kind of has kind of like a stop motion kind of look to it, kind of like a Spider-Verse a little bit. Uh, but it looks super dope. It looks like my type of action game. Kind of like a little bit in the realm of like Kenna Bridge of Spirits. But yeah, South of Midnight 1, I highly recommend y'all put it on y'all's radar. It'll be coming out sometime in 2025. But yeah, like I was happy to see a new trailer there, but like when they went into gameplay, I was like, oh, okay, I'm super sold on that. So let me see. They gave a date for the new World of Warcraft expansion, August 26th. Don't really care. Showed off more of the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remake. Don't really care. New Sea of Thieves expansion coming out July 25th. Don't really care. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn is coming out on July 18th on Xbox and PC. And this one's going to be on Game Pass as well. So kind of like an action RPG game. Looks kind of cool. Might check it out maybe, since it's going to be on Game Pass. Don't care about Age of Mythology. I don't really have a personal connection to Perfect Dark, but it was cool to see some signs of life for this game as well. Also, no release window or whatever, but just like, hey, here's what the game is looking like now, whatever. So shout out to the Perfect Dark fans. Diablo 4 DLC, don't care. More gameplay and looks at the new Fable game, expected for sometime in 2025. That game continues to look very good or whatever. I know I have a lot of friends that are big Fable fans, because I remember working at GameStop back when Fable 3 launched or whatever, and just the excitement. Because I want to say, I feel like it was Fable 3 and maybe like a rock band or something that released the same day. It was like a weird combination of games. And actually, let me look at something. Okay, yeah. So my memory actually served me right. So yeah, so October 26, 2010, it was Fable 3, Rock Band 3, Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, The Sims 3, and WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, and Shaun White skateboarding. Yeah, so yeah, that was a pretty packed release date back then. So that's funny. I remember that. So another game they showed off was this hero shooter called Fragpunk. It looks really colorful and fun. Not really my thing though. Sad Mouse survival game called Winter Burrow. Kind of looks like a Don't Starve type of look to the game or whatever. But you're playing as a little mouse, scavenging and rebuilding your home and environment and stuff. Okay, so this next one, called Mixtape. So Mixtape is from the same developers that did The Artful Escape. Now, The Artful Escape was one of like the first video games I talked about on my channel and stuff a few years back, whatever. Cause when I was looking at like the trailer and stuff, whatever, and just like the way things were looking, something about the vibe of it, I was like, this seems somewhat familiar, or whatever. And then when they announced that, oh, it's from the same people who made The Artful Escape, which, by the way, if you have not played, I highly recommend. That is like that was a experience. Is the best way I could describe it. But yeah, Mixtape is a mysterious coming of age story told through music, and it follows these like either three late teens or young adults or whatever. Just I guess maybe enjoying their last summer of high school or something or whatever. I don't know, but it's right up my alley, whatever. So I'm looking super forward to that. Flight Simulator stuff, don't care. Elder Scrolls Online, don't care. Okay, big unexpected news. We got a new Life is Strange game called Life is Strange Double Exposure, and not only is it a new Life is Strange game, but it stars the main character from the first game, Max Caulfield. Now way older, so not sure how much time has passed, but she is definitely way older than what she was in the first game that came out. That was 2015, I believe. But not only was this a unexpected announcement, but it's also coming out this year, October 29th. Shout out and rest in peace to my sister. That was my sister's birthday. So just so many emotions seeing Life is Strange pop up, and that it's Max, and that it's coming out this year. It was like, whoa, whirlwind. But in this one, it's gonna have Max's, cause she had like time powers or whatever. Well, this one's gonna have her like flipping between realities to where it seems like a close friend of hers dies or gets murdered, and so you're going back and forth between the current reality that you live in and then this reverse reality where she is still alive and other things are different or whatever. So I'm very excited to check that out, and it is so crazy. So just a little bit of a reminder / history lesson for people who don't know. So the original two Life is Strange, so Life is Strange 1 and 2 were done by Don't Nod Studio. Well, then they ended up leaving and going off and doing their own thing, but Square Enix kept the Life is Strange IP and gave it to another studio called Deck Nine. So Deck Nine are the ones that have done like True Colors and any other ones that have come out. And so Don't Nod, the original creators, also announced like last year, whatever, that they were doing a new thing called Lord. It's called Lost Records Blooming Rage. And so it's like, okay, you're gonna have a new game that is like Life is Strange esque from the original creators, and also a new Life is Strange game from this new team using the original main character. So, but I'm excited for both. I will be playing both. But I just found that funny that Lost Records was announced like last year, or whatever, for this year. Though they still haven't put a firm date on it. But then we got Life is Strange swooping in and being like, "Hey, we're back, and here's a date." So very interesting, but very exciting. They showed off more Indiana Jones. Still no official release date. This mech game called Mecha Break, don't care. A kind of a Souls-like game called Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, coming 2025, will be on Game Pass. Atom Fall, some Great Britain, a post-apocalyptic looking game. Don't really know too much about that. Stalker 2 got a release date for September 5th. That game looks really good. And shout out to the developers, because the developers are based in Ukraine, so they were still working on and developing the game when all of the war and everything was going on over the years or whatever with that. So I'm glad that they were able to see that game to the finish line. Uh, Avowed. Now, once again, I've mentioned before, I'm not too big of a RPG style person or whatever. I know my wife loved their last game, The Outer Worlds. My wife freaking loved that game. I'm gonna have to do an episode one day talking to my wife about her gaming taste, because all the years we've been together, she always surprises me, because when we first got together, she was really big into, like, Call of Duty and Far Cry and stuff like that. And then, like, over the years, like, she took my copy of my Fallout 4 and played the heck out of it. She played Outer Worlds. She's of course into Apex, and what is now? I think now she's playing House Flipper. So my wife has a very awesome, varied palette and tasting games. So, but anywho, so Avowed. Um, they showed like a story trailer during the showcase, but then they did like a 30-minute developer interview and commentary showing a more in-depth look at the game. It's still scheduled to come out sometime later this year, but they still haven't put a firm date on it yet, which is interesting. I think that there was like a leaked thing that said it might be November 12th or something, whatever. But anywho, the game looks freaking stunning and beautiful. It looks way better than what they showed off earlier in the year, or whatever. But it just looks so colorful, it's so vibrant and stuff, whatever. And some of the abilities that they were showing off looked pretty cool and pretty dope. So once again, it being on Xbox and Game Pass, I might just download it and just give it a shot, just because. Um, and they also revealed that it's going to have both first and third person camera views and stuff. So, but yeah, so Avowed looking really, really good. And also shout out to them, because they also did Pentiment that I've been playing through as well. So Obsidian stays busy. Let me see, is there anything else? They showed off some new Xbox models. They're doing a 2 terabyte Series X. They're doing a all digital 1 terabyte Series X, and then a 1 terabyte Series S with a that's white, which they did a black version of that last year. I don't know. Too many different models coming out or whatever. And then the big show closer for Xbox was Gears of War E-Day, which will be a prequel to the Gears of War series, set 14 years before the first game, basically telling the story of when the invasion and stuff first happened. So you have a younger Marcus Phoenix and Dom that they showed in the trailer. And it's funny how a lot of times we absorb stuff just through osmosis, or just being around or being into certain industries or cultures or whatever. Because I personally have never played any Gears of War games, but I know a decent amount of the series or whatever. Just like I said, just through listening through podcasts and different things over, the years or whatever. But this one looks very dope, and I don't know. I might need to maybe in the lead up to this, maybe finally start playing at least the original trilogy, maybe. Because I don't know, I've always been interested, and of course, I never really had an Xbox growing up, which is why I never really played any of this. Same thing with Halo, never really played a Halo game aside from just like running around multiplayer at a friend's house or my cousin's house as a kid. But yeah, so Gears of War E-Day, no release window yet. I think somebody had mentioned that like 2026 is like the is it the 20th anniversary or something? Yeah, 20th anniversary of the Gears of War series starting. So maybe they're like, hey, that'd be a perfect time to line up things, maybe. But who knows? So, but yeah. And then, and of course, they showed off some Call of Duty Black Ops 6 that's coming out, I think, end of October. I don't really care about Call of Duty myself, whatever, but I told my middle son he's excited because he's been playing Call of Duty with his friends and cousins recently, whatever. And I told him, I was like, well, hey, it's gonna be on Game Pass day one. So he was like, ooh. So he's excited for that, and I think my wife might be interested too, because she hasn't played Call of Duty in many, many, many years. But it's gonna be interesting to see the space issue, because storage wise these games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think I saw something about like the new Call of Duty might require like 300 gigs of space which is insane. But yeah, so that's it for the Xbox news. Other thing I'll just shout out just in passing, they got talked about. Bungie announced or kind of show like a tease of the roadmap for the future of Destiny going forward. They're gonna do these kind of like episodes over the coming month and going into next year, year 11 or whatever. That's gonna introduce some pretty cool looking stuff, whatever. So just wanted to shout that out. And let me see if was there anything else I wanted to mention or to highlight game wise. Yes. There's a game coming out next month called Nobody Wants to Die. I feel like I maybe had heard about this game in passing or something, but they showed some more, a new trailer for it or whatever, and it's coming out end of July. So very, very interesting stuff. But it's kind of like a detective style game where you're trying to solve mysteries and murder and different things like that. You're looking for clues. You're rewinding time and different stuff. Whatever. It looks really cool. So I am definitely interested in this. At least like I said, just from looking at the game and stuff. So, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I shouted that out before I got out of here. And let me see, was there anything else? Aerial Knights, We Never Yield. It's coming out July 16th as well. Me and Vash really enjoyed his first game that came out a few years ago, whatever, which is kind of funny to say considering Vash is only 6. And when I say a few years ago, so like literally Vash was playing this when he was like 5, maybe it was, or maybe he was like 3 going on 4, something like that or whatever. But Vash still would boot up the first game every now and then. So very excited to see this one coming out, and this one's actually going to have a co-op thing too, whatever. So that might be fun. So I'm just like scrolling through, just making sure there wasn't anything else I had missed too much. Nope, I think that is mainly it. If I can get this to load. And shout out to there's a Twitch streamer named Rogue JV. She is a mom streamer who went viral a few days ago because there was a video clip that got posted of her, just like destroying people on Call of Duty while she's holding her newborn baby in her arms or whatever. And so shout out to her. Shout out to all the gamer parents. Shout out to specifically all the gamer moms out there. My wife, she was very happy and supportive when she saw this, whatever, because my wife is also like I've talked about plenty through this, whatever, super big gamer herself, and I definitely remember, just over the years and stuff, whatever, especially when Vash was newborn or whatever. That was one of the things we talked about. It was like, hey, new baby or not, we still gonna be doing some gaming and stuff. So, but yeah, like I said, so shout out to Rogue JV. But yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, it is 8 o'clock, so I need to get to work. But this, I'm very happy I did this episode this morning. I'm recording this before I'm going to work. But like I said, life has been super crazy, super extremely stressful. I cannot stress enough of how stressed I have been. But like I said, a bright side of everything lately has just been seeing all these amazing, cool games and stuff that got announced that are coming, and that I'm looking forward to. So let me know what y'all thought of all the game news and stuff that came out recently. Now we do know that Nintendo is still planning on doing a Nintendo Direct sometime this month, so we still have that announcement and stuff to look forward to, and of course I'll talk about that whenever it happens and gets announced or whatever. So but yeah, let me know what were some of your highlights or favorite things that you saw from the Summer Game Fest stream, Ubisoft, Xbox, any of the Day of the Devs, smaller announcements, whatever. Let me know, because hey, like I said, I'm always interested in finding some potentially hidden gems and stuff, whatever, to even if it might not be from me, maybe I'll pass the knowledge along to somebody else. So but yeah, so thank you so much for watching and or listening, and as always, you can find me everywhere at Danny's to Talk. And as I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, TV shows and movies, and of course play some video games and live your best life. And with that, I am out. Y'all have an awesome day. I am off to work. I appreciate y'all. Peace.